Hey everyone, it's Citadel Luke and welcome back to my channel, and today's going to be a different kind of video. So here's the thing. So you know how I think it was Simo who said this, but he was saying that like in one of his recent videos about the card shortage in Yu-Gi-Oh! And other card games, that there are some people who will only open the one box of cards and well, they'll keep opening boxes until they get like the secret rare, and they'll only open up that one to make it seem like, oh hey, this is like you're gonna make so much money off of this. Well, the same is true for the dual replays that some people use. There are certain channels, and like, I want to say the ones that like they put music over their videos, I think is like some of the ones that come to mind, to where the comment section is riddled with like, oh hey, funny that you didn't show a duel where you either A, didn't draw into X card, or B, you didn't draw into X card. So I've been dueling over DB for the past like 3 days or so, and in that time period, I have gotten people who legitimately like just leave the match during a certain point in either the combo or the turn that I'm playing or whatever. Now I will say there probably are some mistakes in here, like play mistakes or whatnot, but this does not get the fact that these people, for some reason, just think that, oh, hey, you stopped my deck, I'm going to quit. So what I have for you here is 5 duels, yes, 5, of, I think, the weirdest offenders, if you will. Like, I don't know, like, good news is none of these people were malicious in any way, like, they didn't say, oh, hey, screw you, or F you, or start cussing, or whatever. Now, that would be bad. Now, these people just quit, so for that, I do respect them for not, like, going on a tangent or whatever, because I have had people to where they go on a tangent. If you want to see those videos, then those replays, then I probably could get you some. I think there's maybe only one, maybe two occurrences to where that happened. But we'll get to that later. So the first tool I have is okay. So preference. All these videos, these replays, I'm using Earth Machine. So my opponent here is playing Orchist Eldritch, and this is a duel I had last night, in fact. Um, so it gets it. So we go first. We win the die roll. Like, okay, so for turn it's like, oh, that's interesting. We draw a cruncher, but we don't have anything else. And yes, I'm playing around with dimensional barrier since like the Drytron matchup is coming up, and like I'm seeing how dimensional barrier works in favor of a couple other things. Like, I mean, we already had the TT, so I replaced the TT with just dimensional barriers. So that's why this is going to be in here. But I digress. Anyway, so we start going the combo. I'll just fast forward through this all. You know the standard combo by now. If you don't, I have a couple videos up that go further in depth for like the combos. Um, and so yeah, we got the box, and then we do our little Goliath thing here, and then we diverge a little bit by getting the trencher out, but it's okay. Um, Bulldozer, Darbudozer, Drill Harvester. Okay, so he starts with Gearsu. I'm like, okay, we'll Citadel here. Okay, he gets a token and he puts it under the link point where Galatea will go. Like, okay. Um, links off. Oh, hey, it's Galatea. Sets the crescendo, battles, text, since he halved off of the Forbidden Droplets. He's going to set his Scarlet Sanguine. He's going to banish the Anchored Roll before I can do anything with it. Like, okay, summon Fortress, do Harvester. He negs the Harvester. I'm like, okay, I'm in a good spot. I attempt to use the thing to get rid of the token, but nope. Like, okay. So yeah, we start linking off things here. We do the River Stormer, and then we go get the Daryl Crane, and then we keep going and get the ballista just because we need the space and we need the fodder for the tunneler. And I'm like, okay, whatever I draw off here, like, okay, that's interesting. I think I win anyway, because Thank you for putting Galatea to where it can't be destroyed by battle. How's that working for you now? When you're staring down a leap. Okay, I win game one. Like yay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I like okay, that was good. Game two, we don't open up so well. We open up couple harvester and we do draw the Dara Crane, but he's going first, and as you can see in his hand right now, it's not going to end very well if he gets his full board off, which, as you can see, he's going to try his hardest to. So he starts linking up. There's the Calatea again. World 1, set 3, activate Quaquero, end step pass. I try to activate Dairy, but no, he pays 4,000 here instead of the life points he was supposed to pay, but it doesn't really matter anyway. The outcome was not really anything to. The outcome was already there, so like I lost. Like okay, and it was like okay. Game three, I draw Lancia against the Orcust Eldritch player. This is where I knew it was probably over unless like he had something big. Like okay, so this is where it goes all wrong. So like, okay, heavy forward get harvester, harvester get dozer, dozer get the trencher. Like okay, and like yeah, he's saying K and all that sort of stuff. Activate stormer. I plan on adding the bullet here, and then he leaves. What about this hand was terrible? I'm confused. Did you just not want to play the game anymore, or because I feel like this hand, aside from the symbol skeleton, is not that bad. I mean, like he opened Gearsu and he opened Curse Eldlin. Like, I mean, I'm not an Orcust Eldritch player or an Orcust player or an Eldritch player, but for what I know, that's not bad at all. Like yeah, sure he like unless he had X-ray vision and saw that I was using Lancing, he's like, oh, I lose. But like, okay, that's a little weird. But it's like this one is like the least lesser of all the duels I have to show you. So next duel we have is a duel of where I think it was a couple days ago, and the opponent is using Virtual World. And he for turn, yeah, his hand is about as good as you can expect. Um, he drew Psyframe Driver and Gamma, and an Ash, and Pot of Desires, and the only Virtual World card he ever had was Shinlong. Um, I know people say Quinlong, but like I think it's Shinlong. That's how you pronounce it. So like he's gonna activate Pot of Desires, banish 10, draw 2, pass. Nothing. And might I add, I think he could have done something here with this. I don't know. Oh no, wait, he couldn't have. He drew a virtual world, yet he couldn't do the virtual world thing. Well, that's interesting. Like okay, so we start our chains. We chain block here. So he didn't gamma us then, and we decided to like do that. Like, okay, Fortress is an okay pickup here. Then he gammaed the Dozer. I'm like, okay. So Gustav in the lead, and I realized I forgot that if he attacks on monsters, he can only do monsters. Um, so yeah, so he's gonna active. He finally draws Lily, and he's gonna use that. Um, and like, okay, he's overlaying for, and I had never seen this card prior. Fan. I I literally didn't know this card existed. Once per turn, you can detach 2 Xyz material from this card. Then target one face of a card your opponent controls and one card in their graveyard. Banish them. This Xyz summon card is destroyed by battle with opponent's monster or by an opponent's card while its owner's monster zone. You can special summon 2 virtual world monsters with the same type and attribute as each other from the deck. Again, I have literally never seen this card whatsoever. And well, as you can expect, he's going to activate it. To which I'm going to then chain Forbidden Droplet to negate. Okay. She's going to go to battle phase. And then, so I didn't actually read the full card. I read like I read this part of it. I read that part of it immediately and thought, oh hey, he's activating this. I need to negate it. So I did, and then I was like, wait a minute. What does this card say again? Like, why would it be entering battle phase? And I was like, oh wait a minute, Jimenez destroyed by battle, with an opponent's tagging monster. I'm like, um, so are you saying you forgot that the opponent has to attack it and not yourself? Okay, sure. So attack, and here's where I was like, total annihilation seems like a very fun thing to do. So I was like, yeah, banish the Xyz and Lily, and he quits. Really? You didn't want a pot of desires? What did you banish all your Lulus? Like, I do, okay, I get a little bit more because, like, okay, I guess he didn't have anything, but keep in mind that like this this was game one. This was game one of three, and he quit. Like, okay, it gives me free rating. I'm happy about it, but like, seriously? Oh, come on! I just want to freaking play the game. I don't take really any pleasure in like these free wins. I want to actually play the game and be ultimately the victor by skill. I have lost before. I have legitimately lost before. And yeah, sure, a couple times I've been upset because, like, either A, they just didn't say anything and then they quit. They didn't say GG at all, which I don't like those people because, like, I mean, we're all here to have fun. It's a card game. That's what it's meant to be. Obviously, that's not what it's turned into, but okay. But I've lost before. And like this guy just decides to quit before game two even starts. I don't understand it. What do you guys think is like the payoff of this? Like you lose, I think you lose more rating by just quitting. And he quit. He didn't like just leave, or he didn't just like, close out his tab, the 90 seconds goes by, then like he leaves. No, he legitimately just hit the quit button. Like, come on. His fan play wouldn't have worked anyway. It has to be with an opponent's attacking monster. He probably would have quit anyway. But I digress. Duel 3. This guy is using True Draco. True Draco. And for some reason, before like when we were the turn, when we were like when I was choosing turns, I for some reason I kept clicking the go first button and it wasn't doing anything. So like, oh well. So Mantle Cruncher revealed Dairy Fortress. We get Fortress since I already had 2 dozers, in fact, and I already had the Citadel. I'm like, might as well do Fortress. So we go through our plays here. We cycle through our machines to get Tunneler fodder. Box had the Tunneler. Okay, we do the Tunneler. Go Goliath. Blah blah blah. You know the drill. The Anka drill. Oh, I cracked myself up, but that was cringe. So Knuckle, set 3, Dora, pass. Okay, I realize I'm playing against True Draco. Okay, so I Dora right now. I'm like, there's no way that you're doing anything to my thing. Like, okay, so draw. Doesn't even let me choose which one of his Strike of the Monarchs to add. Like, set, activate, strike, target the headed Anger Knuckle. Like, okay, that's fine, blah, 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 banish the two Ignis because you want me to. Then the bait, and then that, and then Metaverse. I know what's coming. We all know what's coming here. True Draco. No extra deck. Metaverse. There are two possible things. One, he goes Pantheism. Two, he goes to one of the worst cards ever made, Mystic Mine. I knew this was coming. And I hate this card. There's literally no doubt about it. I hate this card. I do. Now, yes, some people think, like, oh, hey, it's not a problem or whatever, but, like, I mean, if you're playing, like, combo deck or whatever, and, like, your opponent just, like, Mystic Mine Field Barrier and you don't have an out to it, like, how angry would that make you? Like, okay, game two, side the Cosmic Cyclones. But what if you don't draw the Cosmic Cyclone? Like, I have Cosmic Cyclones in my deck, in my side deck. I just don't draw them all the time. It's like, okay. I knew how to play around this. I shotgunned the Anger Knuckle because I'm like, might as well. And I just linked off those two for freaking Ballista. And then I attributed for the Trencher, and then I attributed for the Goliath, and then there can be only one me. Like, okay. He did it after I said Stormer. So tribute for cost, so that means I still get the summon. Then Goliath activates, so I get that. Like, well, this is interesting. Like, I'm looking at my graveyard, I'm thinking, if he destroys it, I can technically Citadel. And I could do a couple other things if I wanted to, so we're activating River Stormer here, detaching the Goliath. He leaves. Now, I don't know if I could have activated the Stormer here, but, like, since he did it in response to the Stormer tribute for cost, I thought that, oh, hey, I think this goes through. His back row was 2 Judgment. Droplet. Oh, what's that? Your floodgates don't work. Well, that's impossible. Because if you have, like, 27 floodgates on the field, you just automatically win, right? Nah. It can't be that that's wrong. Why did this guy quit? 2 Judgment? Droplet? What? Like, seriously? 2 negates. Droplet for more negates. What, were you sad that your Lord and Savior Mystic Mine was going to get destroyed on instep? Were you that upset? Like, come on, dude. Oh, and I could have technically Ballista got rid of the heavy forward, targeted that, made it to 0. Could have done that. Could have done a lot worse. But that there can be only one. That kind of hurt. Because, like, you know, my deck is literally called Earth Machine. It doesn't really play anything else. Like, what? It plays Wind Machines, but, like, you know, that's only type. Not attribute. Like, okay. That was kind of stupid on his part, because, like, again, 2 negates. Forbidden Droplet. At worst, he would be 2k life. And technically speaking, if he let the Goliath go through, which he probably wouldn't have, not the Goliath, but, like, you know what I mean, the Ballista. His thing would have been on 0. Like, okay, I just need to get a 2k beater, which isn't the worst thing, but, like, again, there can be only one on the field, so it would have been a lot harder. Okay, gets a wee bit worse from here on out. So this guy just found funny. So this guy is playing Monarchs, but as you can see, as the cards here play out, something is very wrong here. Something is very wrong here. Immediately when I saw the 60 cards and the no extra deck, I immediately thought Monarchs. And I normal summon Harvester, Derek Crane, he quits! What? Are you too shocked that I played two monsters? This duel was just funny. Like, okay, not only is he playing Monarchs, he's playing 60 card, no extra deck Monarchs, with Cursed, featuring Cursed Steel of the Forbidden Spell. I'm guessing that this guy either A was new or B was a returning player. Cause like, I don't see anybody playing that in a competitive, like, in even a semi-competitive thing. And our final duel, to where this is the one I got the most satisfaction out of winning, and I'll say it now, I win this. But it's not like the thing, it's the deck that I win against. It's the deck. Okay, 40-15. Like okay. Um, as you can see, is this screaming something to you? Is this Dragoon Turbo? That's amazing. I ended up kind of bricking. And then he activates Lightning Storm. Doesn't say a word. At all. Not saying anything. I'm the only one that said something. Okay, now he finally says, okay. So I get Bullet. He insights, and then I realize what he's doing. I'm like, oh my gosh. So why is it that people play this deck? I mean, like, okay. I think this is, in fact, correct me if I'm wrong, this is like I think the one that Triff Gaming showed off, if I'm not mistaken, because like he played against Farfa with this, and I think he was like, if you want free wins, play this deck sort of thing, like Dragoon, haha, funny Dragoon. Like I think, but like I hate Dragoon, number one. I hate what it stands for in the community, sort of thing. Like, yeah, sure, it was fine. It was fine as a Red Eyes card alone. It was fine. But you had to go and make it a Verte Anaconda target. Literally any deck that can make Link 2s can get Dragoon out. Like, seriously. This card, I hate this card now. I used to love it. Cause I'm a Red Eyes fan to heart. He's my favorite of the three original ones out of Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, and Red Eyes. I like the Red Eyes. Like, so when I saw this card originally, I was like, oh hey, that's amazing, that's cool. And then he started getting used like for Verte stuff. And I'm like, this is sad. I hate this card now. This card alone, Dark Dragoon, made me like despise Red Eyes to a certain degree. So oh great, Nadir Servant for Ecclesia. Set one, Dragoon attack pass. Like for turn I draw nothing good, and then he's like Rafflesia, and then he had Magical Eyes Fusion. I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with this one. Like, there's no way I can win against two Dragoon. Like, okay, it's time for me to go first again. We're activating redeployment. Add the Citadel. Add the Fortress. Then we're gonna activate that heavy fortress. We're gonna the Harvester. Then Harvester to get Dozer. Then we're gonna tribute off for that Dozer. Then we get everybody's favorite, the Tunneler this time actually. So we're gonna get the bullet, blah blah blah, yada yada, box, and basically this game decides solely almost on what I draw. And even then, I actually do have a good lead so far, because Forbidden Droplet plus Trap Trick equals, with Fortress and Citadel in hand anyway, equals really good disruptions. Per turn he draws Summon Limit. The floodgates keep coming, everybody! Summon Limit's also kind of, I don't like it, because, like, I mean, I see why people don't like it as well. Like, Yeah, if you're playing like a deck that costs like a crap load of money, like say $500 or something like that, and then your opponent just flips up summon limit and you can't play the game sort of thing, it's like, but I spent $500 on this deck sort of thing. I don't want to waste my money on this and lose to like a $2 or $3 card. So I trap trick here for the overdrive, then he's going to activate that pot of Extrav, and he's going to Red Eyes Insight to get the fusion. And I said chain here. I said chain. Machina Overdrive, target the knuckle. Like, okay. So we get out Machina Metal Cruncher, then destroys. And then new chain, we're going to activate that. Chain sit. And guess what? We have the three musketeers on the field, everybody. We have Citadel, Metal Cruncher at full power, and Fortress. With these three, we can win any duel. Gonna do Dairy, Harvester, or Dozer, and we get Dairy. And he's gonna activate Fusion. Like, I don't have any gates. I don't have any gates in this deck, like, period. It's like, okay, I let him get the Dragoon on the field. Then I flip up Forbidden Droplet. Oh, did this feel so good. I'm not going to lie. So I get rid of the box. Get a neck Dragoon. He can't chain Dragoon in response to that. Yay. He sets one. He sets two. He tries to go to end phase as quickly as possible. I wonder why. Well, I'm not about to let him do that. I'm going to activate Citadel, get rid of the Metal Cruncher before leaving main. Oh, and by the way, between the before leaving main destroy Dragoon message, there was about a 30-second to a minute pause with my opponent doing nothing. He leaves. This gave me probably one of the most satisfying victories I've ever had in dueling. To beat the player who just wanted the free wins with his uninspired deck. Dragoon can be used way better in stuff like Red Eyes Pure. That I respect them using it in. Even Dark Magician, I respect them using the Dragoon card because technically it is their card as well. But when I see stuff like non-decks like that being able to use this thing, it's utterly stupid. And like, yeah, sure. They're like this deck, I haven't seen Verte once here. It's literally like a Red Eyes sort of thing for this, but I don't think that it should be this easily accessible with the Red Eyes Fusion. I don't think it should. So, I got my own problems with Dragoon, which, yeah, call them what you want. I just don't like it anymore. Okay? I don't think a lot of us like Dragoon anymore. Sure, some of us see it as dealable with if you like draw the right hand, but when you don't and you break and your opponent brings out Dragoon, it's like, oh, well, I guess I just lose now. But this duel, I found quite a bit of satisfaction under winning. I think just about anybody would feel kind of about the same satisfaction I did when I beat the. Essentially, what he was trying to do was free wins deck, freewins.deck, which gave me a warm feeling in my chest. But anyway, yeah, this is what kind of normally anyway what happens when some people try to get replays. You'll run into duels to where like they quit or say the deck that they were facing wasn't interesting enough. Interesting enough for them to like say, oh hey, it's warrants uploading the video sort of thing. We're not gonna do that. Since like the deck I was playing against, it just wasn't really a challenge. It's not interesting video. People do this. And I just kind of wanted to give you guys a a glimpse into what kind of happened over the past 3 days, because I've been trying to get replays for a while now, like for a while. I had the video that's actually going up, and I'm not joking, is my next video anyway, is a Speedroid duel. So Earth Machine versus Speedroid. Of all decks, I didn't expect that my best duel would be against Speedroids. It was close. It was close, and I won't spoil that outcome. I won't spoil the outcome. I want to upload the video regardless of the outcome, because that duel was good either way. It was nail biting. It was honestly, it's what Yu-Gi-Oh is all about, I think. So with that being said, this was kind of my rant on people quitting and giving free rating. I don't enjoy it under any way, shape, or form. I'd rather finish my games. Like, I mean, when you play Yu-Gi-Oh, you want to win, of course, but like, I don't think anybody wants people to just like, quit. So, with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next vid. Bye bye.